And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, along with our odds maker, Keith Fustel. We're live by the historic Laurel Park paddock on a picturesque, beautiful Sunday of racing. Glad you've been with us. Hopefully, you've been with us all opening weekend. The handle's been up. Friday, the handle was way up yesterday as well, and a great live racing card. Yesterday, we had a bunch of races on the turf, just like today. 7 races on today's 11. 7 of the 11 races today on the turf. We had 7 on the turf yesterday, and a couple nice features, a couple $75,000 stakes on the main track, and it was good to see lineup best fit get to the winner's circle coming back real quick off that Timonium race.
Short layoff at Timonium, just got beat a whisker at Timonium, but came back, got a nice little setup and a good ride by J.D. Acosta.
Sure.
Was able to kind of work his way through traffic, got that filly up in time with a good late surge. As Kieran said, she's your typical racehorse. She wants it. You can just tell when you see those type of horses on the racetrack. And It's the Journey, who took the Chaladon Stakes for Trombetta. Well, he's proven now. I had my doubts about him. He confirmed himself yesterday as a pretty darn good sprinter.
Yeah, now 4 in a row for the Maryland-bred son of Mine Shot for Larry Johnson and Mike Trombetta. He beat a Fleet Willie and some other nice runners. And then how about Rockin' On By, getting up for second in the Chaladon.
It was one of those things. I was looking at the race, and I talked to Bill, my partner up there with Equibase, and thinking, you know what, this race is probably $100 exacta.
Right.
6-7 with the 1. I just really felt strongly Rockin' On By was going to run second in that race. Didn't know which one of the phase was going to get it done, but It's the Journey again. He stamped himself. He just dusted those horses.
Yeah, it's a nice card yesterday, and we have all kinds of action today. The 105.7, the Fan is here. They're on the second floor of the clubhouse up there by the sports bar. We'll talk more about that. We have all kinds of football promotions up there at the sports bar. Also, we have the Players Challenge today, so lots going on, including a nice little carryover building in that Rainbow Pick 6, the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. It'll start race 6 today on our big 11-race program. Carryover a little over 1,500. I like the Pick 6 today. Bunch of turf races. I have a ticket, a $57 ticket for the Pick 6. I know you like the late Pick 4.
Right.
Late Pick 4 starts today in race 8.
I have trouble picking 1 on some of these cards at Laurel, much less 6. I'm going to stick with the late Pick 4. I'm going to try to beat a couple of the favorites in there. It's a little bit of a beefy ticket for me, but I think if we get by 1 or 2 of these favorites, we could be in for a really strong return.
Yeah, I like some long shots today. Euro Power at a big price in race 8. It's going to be coming from the clouds. That's her running style. We'll talk more about that. Let's get right to it. Let's show you the beautiful conditions we have out here today. The weather in the 70s or something, a few clouds in the sky. It is beautiful. Main track fast, turf rated as good. How do you think both surfaces, turf and dirt, have been playing so far 2 days into the fall meet?
Yeah, Dirt, we talked about it. Opening day a little bit slower. Things picked up yesterday, gradual progression. I'm thinking just still tweaking since they resurfaced this racetrack a little bit. Turf course, got in better condition yesterday. If you noticed on that picture, the lighter spots, the rollers have been out this morning. So pay credence to that. Maybe inside speed a little bit better.
Okay, all right. And our features today, race 10, that 2 other than a ton of speed in that race with Freudian, Emelina, a bunch of speed in that race. I like the long shot in there, Secret or Not, the closer with Caramanos aboard. So some nice races today. Let's get right to it here in race 1. Race 1 will be the first of 7 races on our big world-class turf course. It'll also start the rolling Super High 5. Every race with 7 or more horses will have the Super High 5. That's a low 15% takeout. So Super High 5 will start in race 1. Also, the early Pick 5 with a mandatory payout will start in race 1. Industry low 12% takeout on both the Pick 5s here. And how about the early Pick 5 yesterday? You had a $10 horse, the Kenny Decker horse, paid $10. Everybody else, you had a couple $8 horses, and a couple $4 horse, a $5 horse. The early Pick 5, I played a big ticket. I didn't have the Kenny Decker horse, and it paid over $1,200. I almost fell out of my chair.
And that happens a lot here, especially in that early Pick 5. We have some monster payouts. You might have one horse hedge over $12, $14 with some favorites smattering along. And it pays $1,500, $2,000. And Kenny Decker's horse, that surprised me. That horse took a lot of money flat. I think it went off around 4-1.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I had lined at 10 or 12. Surprised me a little bit. The horse just kind of walked.
Yeah,
there were some scratches, but still, I didn't think that horse would get maybe much lower than 6 and absolutely whistle. But you had it. Good job.
All right, so lots of good wagering opportunities. Let's get right to it here. Race 1, maiden claiming $40,000 for 2-year-old. Phillies going long on the turf here. It's a nice race here. Starting to see these 2-year-olds going longer on the turf in dirt. So race 1, a mile and a 16th. on the Exceller turf course with the rail at 70 feet. I like the 5 on top here. Lisa Lyman from the Benny Perkins Jr. Barn. Sheldon Russell will ride this 2-year-old daughter of Scat Daddy. I love the Scat Daddies on the turf, and this will be the turf debut here for this 2-year-old filly. She's out of a Lemon Drop Kid mare, so some nice turf pedigree, top and bottom here for the 5. A decent second last out, going a mile against Maiden 40 Company on the dirt at Delaware. So at least she has a route race under her belt. She gets a good rider here with Sheldon Russell. Benny Perkins Jr., always dangerous when he ships down here to Maryland.
Yeah, you look at the breeding, Johannesburg on the top end, Lemon Drop Kid on the bottom. You're thinking turf. I still think this horse is going to hold a little bit of value, Stam, just looking at the numbers. Last out buyer of 14, but does have the stamina builder, that route race at Delaware. Yeah, I think this horse falls in about 6 or 8 to 1 range. Couldn't get a real good gauge looking back through Offspring and things of that nature. I think Ham Smith, either one of his horses are going to be tough in here. The 8 still sexy at 60, or the 9 War Tweet. My top selection is going to be the 9 War Treat, a daughter of Data Link, a Grade 1 winner over the grass course. Comes out of a good key race. Lake Geneva, second place finisher, came back to run a good 63 at Kentucky Downs over that tricky little turf configuration. I think this horse wants to go longer, top and bottom, should handle the route of ground.
Yeah, made a nice late run last out to finish third, sprinting on the turf. And you mentioned Data Link. He's a young, promising Warfront sire, and this horse out of a flatter mare. So some nice turf pedigree there. Alex Centron, I had the stakes win yesterday with It's a Journey. He's one of our top riders here. So I used the 9. Be one of our favorites here. I used the 9 in my top 3. How about the 6 I used in the Exacta Arbutus from the Dove Houghton barn? The barn's been going well since the summertime. They've really been clicking pretty well. This is a Robert Gerzak, homebred by Baltimore Bob. We know Baltimore Bob was very good on the turf, so Arbutus making her turf debut today for Dove Houghton.
Yeah, I mean, this race is still kind of wide open. I mean, like I said, I think the road goes through Hammy Smith. You're looking at the 8, still sexy at 60 by Girolamo. 0 for 1 on the grass, Foles 0 for 5. But the turf debut for this horse, August 11th, wasn't bad. You see the short comment, late move between horses. Really didn't pick it up till late. Added ground might be the key for the 8, still sexy at 60. Hammy Smith with 2-year-old turfers the last couple of years, 6 for 31, 19% clip with an ROI of over $4.
All right, it's a nice maiden 40 turf route here in the opener. We both like the 1. Rose-colored, should get a nice ground-saving trip from the inside for Forest Boys. Mike Trombetta with a big day yesterday. He had a 3-win day yesterday, including winning the Chaladon, and he has his 2-year-old filly by. Congrats, a decent third last out against Maiden 25. She's stepping up here a little bit and trying the turf for the first time, stretching out.
First turf, only 8% out of a 66 sample. $2.44, though, profitable ROI. I looked at the mare. My Elusive Dream was 0 for 8 on the turf, but did run some okay maiden special weights going long on the grass.
All right, nice maiden race to kick off the early pick 5. Let's take a look here at the second race to kick off the early pick 4. 3 pick 4s for you this afternoon. Early pick 4 starts in the second race, going 6 furlongs on the main track, claiming 5,000. Filly mares never won 2 lifetime, and I don't like to make my best bet in these cheaper races too often, but I am making my best bet here with the 5, Baltimore Street. Could be a big day for Dove Houghton and owner breeder Robert Gerzak. This is a kind of an entry where you make the entry, you hang the phone up, you just start paying the bills. You pay the feed bill, you pay the hay bill. Yeah. This is a well-meant entry, dropping from 25 to the nickel too late. That's how you do it when you need to win a race. Stevie Hamilton had a 2-win day yesterday. This horse has been running okay on the turf. Turf to dirt for trainer Dove Houghton, 23%. So that's a strong number there. Baltimore Street be your heavy favorite here in the second race, and I'll make her my best bet.
I think they're going to just say wave goodbye to her. Hope they get the win. I mean, you're seeing a filly just ran right behind Jayla Tash on the turf not too long ago, just a couple months ago. I'm going to pass on the giveaway here with Baltimore Street. You had Fannie Bell Fleming win, the opener the other day. There's a correlation there, Stan. Fannie Bell Fleming named for somebody who used to work on Baltimore Street.
The famous,
you remember? Blaze Stark. There you go.
Now, exotic dancer, shall we say,
she did
right?
a little work over there. Absolutely.
Burlesque. Yeah, Baltimore Street was had a famous burlesque era, a lot of history.
And believe it or not, I actually delivered a refrigerator to her house way back when I was a teenager working for an appliance store.
Fannie Bell Fleming.
So there you go. Yeah. I like Tack Up in here. I think Tack Up with the questionable Baltimore Street and the 2 Early's Diamonds run 2 bang-up races. Early's Diamond, I don't like the comment last time. Getting out, it's a little shaky for me. I think Tack Up is the speed of the speed. A nice little improvement off a slight layoff for trainer Valora Testerman. I'm not worried about the extra 16th of a mile. I think Tack Up with a good break can go ahead and dictate this race.
Alex Centron, she gets a hot jockey here for sure. This filly probably be in front. I use her in my top 4. We both agree on the 2. Our lines, Diamond for Ann Merriman, good second. Last out, dropping to the nickel here. Aggressive move here with the 2. Kevin Gomez, he's had a couple wins here to start off the meet, so we both like the 2. That's going to be one of your favorites in here.
Absolutely. Always time. Like I said, questionable short comment, was drifting a little bit, had a dead perfect setup and couldn't get up, was sitting right behind the duel, just kind of a grinding type of run. You know, they're going to be awfully short, her the 2 and the 5. I just take a little bit better value with the 3 in here.
And a lot of people might be keying on the 5 Baltimore Street in that early pick 5. You beat that heavy favorite, and that's how you get a big blow-up ticket in that early pick 5. Let's take a look here. Race 3, a nice maiden special weight for 2-year-olds going 5.5 furlongs on the bowl game turf course with the rail at 17 feet here. We have a stat here on this Tommy Proctor 2-year-old by Awesome again, number 6, Brighten My Day. Nice 6-1 price here. Let's take a look here at this Tommy Proctor
stat. I was a little surprised last time out that this horse took really no money for a Proctor firster. You looked at the dam. Surf and Sand was 7 for 13 sprinting on the dirt by Awesome again. But let's look at this stat here. Brighten My Day, over the past 2 years, trainer Tommy Proctor's 4 for 8 and 6 for 8 in the money with 2-year-olds going from dirt to turf in the second career start. Look at that ROI, over $5. This horse is a fool to Coco as in Chanel, who I believe won a little stakes over Pimlico.
Yeah, I remember the name. Yep.
On the grass, a little sprint stakes. So I'd give a little credence, and I think you're going to get an okay price. And Proctor and Pedrosa have been deadly over almost like 30% over the last year.
All right, so it's a well-bred horse here out of a Boston Harbor mare by Awesome again. That's a major league sire. I used the 6 in my top 4 here. I put the 4 on top here. Right amount of mischief from the Donald DeMeza barn. This horse, I think, is going to like the turf by Great Notion. Of course, that's why I like the horse by Great Notion. I think the Great Notions love the turf. Of course, the sire of Flash Phelps. And this horse has been knocking on the door in some decent races. A good second in the mud last out against Maiden Special Weight here at Laurel. That was first time Lasix that day. A good second with a wide trip behind Blue Ridge Scout. 3 seconds from 3 starts here for this horse. I think the 4 will love the turf debut today.
This horse kind of maybe reminds me a little bit of the Ann Merriman horse we saw yesterday. Just runs well and just always kind of runs into a stranger that jumps up and beat him. And what about the Sagamore horse? 104 and change on that turf course yesterday, widening.
Sure.
Whew.
And probably wants to go longer, too, and half the horses that have gone longer going to market. Yeah, nice runner from the Sagamore barn yesterday.
Don't want to get sidetracked. But right amount of mischief, absolutely a user in here. I like the 11. Let's go to the outside with Street Copper. We thought we had video. Unfortunately, with contractual stuff, we couldn't show it from that race August 23rd at Saratoga. This Trombetta runner was absolutely stopped cold coming to the 8th pole, swung out with good energy late. And the turf debut at Laurel on July the 2nd ran behind some key horses. A good effort. That 64 buyer is going to be good enough to get it done. The blinkers get on. A little focus. A stalk and pounce move for the 11. Street Copper.
I guess I was a little hard on this runner, but the connections are red hot. Trombetta and R. Larry Johnson. This horse a good 3rd on the turf, sprinting on the turf against Maiden Special Weight here at Laurel back in July. And, tougher race up there at Saratoga last out. Maybe I didn't like the outside post. This horse doesn't look like he wants to go right to the front, maybe get a stalking trip or something. I go against the 11. This will be one of your favorites here in race 3. But if you're playing a multi-race ticket, I think you have to respect and use the 11 Street Cooper protectively. How about the 9 here? Chin Coppin here for Hammy Smith. Blinkers on this 2-year-old by Orientate. A good 3rd in the debut, coming out of the same right amount of mischief race. That was a nice debut. Alex Centron gets aboard today. Turf debut here in the 2nd start. Nice outside post here on the 9, Chinquapin.
Yeah, Chinquapin, and a real good, encouraging debut. You see the short comment. Had speed, flashed good speed out of the gate. Angled 6 wide for the stretch run, and really a game rebid. It was. This horse was going well through the wire. Now transfers over the turf. We talked about Hammy with these younger horses on the grass course. He does well. Out of Heavenly Moon, it makes this horse a half to Moon Virginia, who won early on the grass. I think Chinquapin is also poised for a big effort this afternoon.
All right, so we both like the 9 and the exact Clever Triad. That was the horse
That's
yesterday.
Yep, thank you.
Got up for second. Elementary for Susan Cooney. How about Susan Cooney with a nice win in an allowance race yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
She has the 5 Elementary, also by Great Notion. The 5 making his turf debut today. Blinkers on. J.D. Acosta stays aboard. We'll get a decent price here on the 5 Elementary.
This horse should be double digits. Blinkers go on as a half-to-made bail, a sprinter. She did very well with around here. Actually hedged into the 90 buyer figures. Blinkers go on a little more focus for the 5 Elementary.
All right, a nice betting race here in the 3rd race, as one of your favorites going to be on the outside. Might get compromised a little bit. We'll see. I'm going to play the early pick 5 and go deep here in race 3 and try to catch a price here and get a nice score on that early pick 5. Let's take a look here at the 4th race to kick off the middle pick 4. It's a nice 7,500 starter allowance for filly and mares. 6 furlongs on the main track. The 6, no more excuses. First off the claim here for trainer Phil Schoenthal. He's 24% with that move. Recently, Russell was aboard for the 8.5 length win. Last out, Russell's aboard today. Speed on the outside. The 6, no more excuses. A 2-time winner here at Laurel Park. Going to be very dangerous.
Yeah, really flourished in the Kieran McGee barn. Back with Schoenthal, who had this mare earlier in her career. Was that a mud-induced number, the hopped-up number, up to the 72? I'm going to think that it was. This horse is the target. She's going to break. She's got good speed. She's going to take a little inside pressure, though, I think, from Dancing Dene. I think Lemon Lover back to Laurel, Stanford Maldonado. This horse likes Laurel, likes the 6 furlong distance. Tossed the Timonian race, compromised at the break. I think this horse has enough positional speed to keep no more excuses in her sights and wear her down late.
I respect the connections. Maldonado having a big year, 24% winners on the year. So I respect the 1 Lemon Lover. I'll use that one in my top 3. We both like the 3, Dance and Dene. This is a 7-pound bug boy for Claudio. Ran a good race, rode a good race yesterday.
Yeah.
Just almost won that photo. Looked good riding to the finish line there. Caballos, am I saying it right? 7-pound apprentice here for Claudio Gonzalez riding a 3, Dance and Dene.
Yeah, Ceballos, he kind of was inside, worked between horses, dove down to the inside. Good gritty effort. And speaking of rides, I thought the amateur rider race, the Frigentry, that girl rode a nice race on the win for Trombetta. Maybe tab that rider down the road in one of those other events. But I'm going to use Insigne. I think Frisky Whiskey likes to run outside of horses. Was caught down inside chasing a decent pace last time out. Go second time for Salazar. I think the move to the outside. This horse is more of a circling type and then staying down inside.
Trainer Marco Salazar and jockey Larley Glazier with some good stats together. Positive ROI. They're 20% together here at Laurel Park. So we both like the 5 Frisky Whiskey. It's a nice starter allowance here for filly and mares in the 4th race. Let's turn the page. 25,000 starter allowance. Optional claiming 25,000 here in race 5. We're going a mile and a 16th on the Exceller turf course rail setting at 70 feet. And I go with the far outside. This is one of my long shots here. If I can get to the page here, the 9. No, not a long shot. We're going to do 3 to 1. I put a line through it. 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 on the 9.
2 to 1 morning line.
2 to 1 on the 9. Capucine. I put a line right through the odds as I like this filly. 4-year-old filly by Courageous Cat out of the dam. Enter stage left, who was a nice allowance runner on the turf. Milan Milosevic has done a nice job with this filly. Just draw a line through the last race on the dirt. Forget about that race. The 2 races before, one at Laurel here against Allowance Company, and then a nice second at Pimlico in the comeback race here. I think this filly's still sitting on a big second half of her 4-year-old year on the turf. Toledo stays aboard here. The 9 Capucine. Both are top picks here in the 5th.
Yeah, she's just consistent. You look at her grass races. She runs always up in the higher 60 buyer figures, and that's going to be enough. She kept good company. Didn't get beat much by Saida, a really improving type of filly for Cal Lynch. I think she's doesn't have a ton of early speed, but I think can keep this field a little bit closer. I don't think anybody's going to kind of get away from the field. Maybe Via Fortina will go ahead and send from the inside. I think Cappuccino's just faced better, standing, grinds him down, no doubt. And
I like how they stayed in that race on August 19th. It was Cardiff for the turf. It came off the turf. They stayed in and ran anyway. That gave them a better preference date, meaning that they're really eyeing a race here in September. So I think the 9, the Capucine, sitting on a big effort here. The 10, Quick Thinker, Victor Carrasco aboard for Jane Sibeli. So some very strong connections here. This 4-year-old daughter of More Than Ready showed a little speed last out, going a mile on the turf, on the good turf at Mama. So we'll get a good turf course here today. Flattened out a little bit, finished 4th. A good win on the Parks turf 2 starts ago. Very strong connections here with the 10, Quick Thinker.
Quick Thinker outside, might have a touch of hang in towards. She's going to have to try to navigate a really good trip if she's going to have that finishing punch. I don't know if she can quite match strides with Cappuccino if Cappuccino is right this afternoon. I'm looking for some prices maybe underneath. underneath. How about the 5, Mavernine for Elizabeth Voss? Comes off of a race at Delaware. I know that Beyer figure of 52 it's not real glaring at all. But the third place finisher, like a girl's come back to run 3 really strong races. I like that. This horse has a decent effort. I know it's on the Wayback Machine. Over a softer ground, a Beyer of 68, that's good enough. And I think you have to use Majestic Trick or even Via Fortina as the speed.
And you see some decent works there in August for the 5 Maverine. I overlooked this mare a little bit. This is a definite must-use in that early pick 5, I think. Has a win over the Laurel Grass. A couple nice works up there. AHT, that's Atlanta Hall Training Center, I guess. That's the private training center for Elizabeth Voss up there in Moncton. So, yeah, I like your long shot you have there in the exacta. We both like the 2. Via Fortina from the Howard Wolfendale barn. A nice win on a yielding turf course last out to break the maiden. Now the confidence is high. She's facing winners for the first time today.
No doubt. She's going to have to improve, but I like that improvement over the softer ground. That may be the key to her success.
Now the 6, My Vixen, I throw in there for Gary Capuano. A decent second last time we saw this filly on the turf. That was against 16,002 Life with Kevin Gomez aboard back in early July. A little tougher race today, but Gary Cap, this kind of freshening here for the 6 My Vixen, 28% positive ROI. So decent price there. Bunch of nice prices here in race 5.
I agree with you. I just think the key is the 9, Milan Milosevic horse Cappuccino. I mean, if she's 90% right, I think she's 1-2.
All right, so we both like the 9 there in race 5. Let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, little carryover in the Rainbow Pick 6 starts in race 6 today. Little over 1,500. I have a ticket for it. We'll start with that right after this. Welcome back here, taking a little sip of coffee on this beautiful Sunday morning, getting you ready for Sunday brunch and a nice 11-race card here, including 7 races, 7 big fields on the turf. And a nice little light breeze just to keep you cool. And if you wear a nice little sweater or jacket today, we have all the football action you can want up there, second floor of the clubhouse at the sports bar. We'll tell you more about that. But first, we still have 6 more races to go here. I like the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 today. I'm going to play it. Nice little carryover over 1,500. The first 2 days of the meet so far, they bet over 2,000 into it each day, so there'll be about 2,000-3,000 in there today. Might get a nice $3,000-$4,000 signer if you can be the only ticket in the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. Here's my ticket, a $57.60 play. I'm going to go 3 deep here in race 6 using the 1, 2, 3. I like the 3 Drive at Night on top with Caramanos aboard. Race 7, that's a nice maiden special weight going a mile on the turf. I like some long shots in there. The 9 Lemon Drop Kitty, 6-1. The 2 End of an Era, that's Elizabeth Voss, first-time starter at 12-1 by Giopani. And the 3 Finglass, going to be your favorite in race 7. That's a nice maiden special weight. Race 8. That's an open 75 going long on the turf. I'll go 4 deep in there. I like a long shot in there, the 1 Euro Power. Yeah. And then race 9, that's a nice allowance race. I'm going to key there on the 1 Hell of Fire, the favorite in there for trainer Tim Woolley and jockey Alex Cintron. Race 10, that's a nice 2 other than feature of the day going long on the turf. Has a ton of speed, an absolute ton of speed in race 10. I like the closers. I like a long shot in there. The 11, Secret or Not, with Caramanos aboard. And then 2 deep, race 11, a maiden 16, 5.5 on the turf. Go deeper if you can in that race. But I think I have the best 2 horses in there, the 6 and the 11. So I like to pick 6 today. I'm going to play probably a little bigger ticket than that. Might maybe go a little deeper in race 9, but Hell of a Fire looks awfully tough in there for Tim Woolley.
We're putting a little pressure on our investors. You got a $57 ticket. I'm up to $45 for that late pick 4. I hope we come through.
I hope so. Yeah. Tim Tulloch, he gave out the late pick 4 yesterday. I just missed on my late pick 5 I gave out on Friday. I just missed on my key horse. I played the ticket and got lucky with the ticket I played. So hopefully we'll get lucky with the tickets we give out today. Let's take a look here. Race 6, claiming 5,000, 3 and up. Haven't won a race in 6 months. Never won 4 3/4 on the main track. The 3 Drive at Night, a 3-time winner here at Laurel Park. Was running against a tough 7,500 beaten field. Last out, drops down to his level today. He won a 3-life level. 2 back in the slop here at Laurel Park. He'll be coming late. He's kind of a grinder, has to make a late run. Karamanos will ride. I'm not totally confident on him. I like the 1 and the 2 in here as well.
Yeah, we're going to scratch the 1A, Mr. Spaceman. We thought Lacey Gaudette had a pretty potent entry. I mean, still get with Gavin Street Sense in here. This horse is going to be a factor. Gavin Street Sense was drifting a little bit last time when getting up. I don't know if he can quite sustain with some of the other speeds. He's going to probably sit just off of it. I don't know if he's as fast as some of these horses to his outside, especially Trad Fast coming off the half-mile race at Timonium. That horse should be right on the engine, as will Legend Keeper. I agree with you, Stan. I think Drive at Night, he's improved since being gelded back in April. The last race wasn't bad, just a little flattened along the inside against better horses. I think he can sit and make one run to get up.
All right, so we both like the 3 Drive at Night here in race 6. The 1 Gavin Street Sense has a little more early speed. This horse might be in front. Turner for home. Nice record here at Laurel Park. 7 for 9 in the money with 2 wins. Alex Cintron will ride. Gavin Street Sense breaking from the inside. Does he go to the front here? Looks like he'd probably go to the front. Maybe a little pressure from the outside. Maybe the 5-7 Pomeroy's package maybe.
Yeah, Pomeroy's package with speed adds to Tradfest. So like you say, off of that half-mile race at Timonium, had to go with Williamsburg early. Couldn't quite match strides. Tradfest pretty quick, that opening quarter mile. I think Gavin Street Sense, that's going to be maybe could be his downfall, that he has to be used a little bit too much early to hold position. That could be a little bit of a problem for him. I think just Drive at Night, you're probably your best legitimate closer. And the 10, CV Ice. This horse is hedging up, where the trainer, kind of a sneaky trainer, doing well right now. Overcame a ton of trouble at Timonium to get up. He's going to have to improve off of that number, but the race could fall into his lap.
Yeah, Jesse Cruz, young trainer around here already with 2 wins, so that's encouraging. J.D. Acosta won the feature, won one of the stake races here yesterday. How about the 2, Parsegian for Marco Salazar? The bug boy Luis Rodriguez will ride. He was riding at Timonium, a good second at Timonium. Didn't run very well 2 starts ago here at Laurel Park, but maybe a little long shot to get up there late.
Yeah. He kind of just a little bit of an even runner. You can just toss the 2-back race. I mean, Iredell just absolutely whistled. You see the internals, 22-1, 44-4. He wasn't going to get into that race at all. And the 3-back number, the 65 buyer, that probably would win it.
Sure. All right, so I go 3 deep to kick off the pick 6 in race 6 using the 1, 2, 3. Let's turn the page here. Race 7 will kick off the late pick 5. No carryover, but as always, more money back to you, the better, with that industry low 12% takeout on the late pick 5. It starts in race 7 today. It's a nice maiden special weight for 3-year-olds and upward, going a mile on the bowl game turf course with the rail at 17 feet. Let's take a look here. I go to the outside, the 9, Lemon Drop Kitty, 3-year-old daughter of Lemon Drop Kid out of a tail of the Cat Mare. They paid $120,000 for this filly when she was a yearling at Keeneland, and a nice second last out, stretching out on the turf for the first time on a yielding turf course. Got up for a good second behind Greek Mythology. Was that the Delacour first out winner, I believe, that day? Yeah, so that was the first time going 2 turns on the grass for Lemon Drop Kitty. Sheldon Russell stays aboard today. We'll get a decent price because there's some nice runners in here, but I like the 9, Lemon Drop Kitty. We both like the 9 on top.
Take a shot. The filly against the boys, but I'm not really worried about that. Greek Mythology, I thought, was a strong winner. And Lemon Drop Kitty, I was hoping to see another race, another sprint under her belt before she went long, but I like the ample time now that Jason Egan has given this filly to recover. I think she's going to bounce back with a big effort. She's going to have her running shoes on to beat the likes of Finn Glass and even the 7 McGahee's runner, Crime Lab. But I like the way she finished up the last 16th of a mile in her second career start, her first route race on the grass. Comes back with some good works, and look at that. This type of layoff, a nice little $3.45 ROI for trainer Jason Egan.
And smart thinking running this filly in here. I don't. Is the filly going against the boys for maiden races, especially on the turf? I don't think it matters that much. Number 1, number 2, you get a few pounds off. You get a weight allowance if you're a filly going against the boys. Some people would skip a race like this and wait for another race, and then your horse maybe isn't ready for a race. So I think the 9's ready to run. They want to run her. It doesn't bother me at all that she's going against the boys here in race 7. The 2, End of an Era, first-time starter for trainer Elizabeth Voss by Gio Ponte out of a Coronado's Quest mare. Some nice nice works up there at the farm in Moncton. They get Horacio Caramanos to ride here for the debut. Lasix in the debut here, so I think everything is positive for the two. End of an era to come out running here for Voss.
No doubt. And once again, the road probably going to have to go through thin glass. I think this horse is probably going to be 9-5, 8-5 when it's all said and done. I think some money will come in McGahee. I'll have to tab the total on the first-time starter there, Stan. But look at the company lines. Just Howard, Belgian, surprise twist in that debut. A good, strong triple key race. And the Monmouth, a big move before flattening. It shortens up a little bit off of that turf dry. The mile's probably perfect for the three fin glass. Look at it, dirt to turf, back to the turf for Delacour. Only 41%.
Yeah, the barn red hot this year, so the three fin glass is going to be awfully tough to beat. The 7 you throw in there, Crime Lab from the Hall of Famer Shug McGahee's barn. Didn't a 3-year-old by Tisnow. Didn't run very much up there in New York. Gave the summer off. Nice work up there at Fair Hill coming into this race. We'll see if the 7 Crime Lab can do a little bit better today.
A little easier waters here for the 7 Crime Lab, no doubt about it. Some of these horses that he faced back in the springtime have come back to run well. We've seen this move work time and time again for McGahee.
Yep. And him and Forrest Boyce, they're 36% together here at Laurel Park. So nice maiden special weight, one of our features of the day to kick off the late pick 5 there in race 7. Let's take a look here at the 8th race to kick off the late pick 4. I know you like the late pick 4 today. It's a nice open 7,500 claimer to kick it off. Let's take a look here at your ticket.
Spreading early, and I wish I could spread off, but 2, 4, 6, 9, and 10 to get it started in race 8, 5 deep. I don't have your Euro power. I'm going to have to go back and toss that horse in. It would not surprise me at all. The 1 and 6 in race 9, Hell of a Fire, is the horse to beat. I fear, though, Fergie's Lady. Awfully strong effort up on the engine last time out. 3 deep in the 10th with the 6, 9, and 10. Some long shots. Going to try to, I'm going to use Freudian, but going to try to beat her as well with some prices. And in the nightcap, the 2, 6, and 11. I know you like the 6 and 11. I think Jake's Outcaster, it's good percentage. First time with his barn. Strong jockey trainer combination. I think this horse is better off sprinting on the grass. $45 ticket.
All right, the late pick 4, always the best played, the most well-played pick 4 of the day. So it starts in race 8. It's a nice claiming 7,500 filly mares 3 and up, mile and a 16th on the Exceller, rail at 70 feet. I think there's enough speed in here. We'll need a little pace up front early to set it up for a dead closer, a deep closer like the 1 Euro Power. Does have a win on the Laurel grass, and that was very impressive. 2 years ago, August of 2015, came from way out of it at this level to win with Horacio Caramanos aboard. Some spotty form since then. This will be the first race this year. She's now 9. She's coming off a layoff, hasn't run since September. She's been working well here for these connections. Joe Davies married to Bruce Miller's daughter, I believe. Joe Davies won the Maryland Hunt Cup, so no doubt this mare has been training on the farm with some long gallops here. She'll be ready for the comeback. Hopefully Kevin Gomez get a ground-saving trip and just have a clear lane turning for home. A Euro Power at a big price for me here in race 8.
Yeah, this is a wide-open affair, race number 8. Not a lot of splitting. There's several horses coming out of that August 11th race, the 11th race that day at Laurel Park. The won by Secret Temple. Tarky had just missed with a big late surge, but we'll go back to some video. A horse I like in here at a price is the 10, Momon's Copycat, sitting here in the 3rd position on that day, August the 11th, and we can roll it, guys. Thank you. Williams Lucky Gray, the long shot, who we're going to see in here today, and he'll probably be on the engine again, setting the pace. Stalked by Race and Shine, also in this race. But here's was I thought the key for Momon's Copycat. Got her in a little bit of trouble. She was sitting down inside. Williams Lucky Gray is kind of start backing up a little bit, and the jockey angles are out. And right when she's kind of ready to make her move stand, she gets horses just kind of converge from the outside, and a little bit tentative maybe to go on from between horses, and that might have cost her, I think, a better placing in this race. Secret Temple was able to get a little bit cleaner trip and get up. You see, just moving up to the outside at a big price under, I believe, Al Cortez that day. But look, pick this horse up. She looks like she's just going to fade away. She's down inside. Now she's 4 or 5 lengths off the pace, but she picks it back up again through the last 1/8 of a mile. But unfortunately, she's kind of stopped behind a wall of horses. I think on this afternoon's race, I think from this outside post, she gets a better stalking position. I think if she's clear into the far turn to make that move and isn't hampered by horses surrounding her, I think she can kind of maybe get a jump on the field. She's running late. She's trying. Tarky makes a big rush. You watch her through the gallop out. She's okay. Momon's Copycat is going to hold value, gets Caramanos this afternoon.
All right, trainer Arparna Bartula. She used to be a jockey around here. She's the owner and trainer here of the 10 Momon's Copycat. So we're both looking for a long shot price there in race 8 to kick off the late pick 4. Tarkia will be coming late. Should be a blanket finish with a bunch of nice closers there in the 10th race. Let's see. Do we like any horses together here? The 2, I guess 2. Tarkia is the only horse. And the 4, we agree on the 4. Cracking good pens, a good 4th. Tarkia, Unspoken, Cracking good pens, all coming out of the same race.
Tarkia a little bit deeper closer. Kind of got in late when hit with the right stick. Drops a little weight this afternoon. Casey with a winner yesterday, right?
Yeah, James Casey, nice horse. That Roby's boy, an impressive winner. So yeah, nice claiming 7,500 long on the turf to kick off the late pick 4. We both, Keith and I, like a long shot on top there in race 8. Let's take a look here at the 9th race to kick off the final pick 3 of the afternoon. A nice Maryland-bred first-level allowance contest. Filly mares 3 and up, going a mile on the main track. And this is my single on my Rainbow pick 6 ticket to 1. Hell of a Fire, West Virginia, bred by Frisian Fire. Very strong second last out, going 7 furlongs. Came with a 4-wide move. You see the comment there, 4 wide on the turn. Led late, just got beat a neck by Phantom Shot for Donnie, who came way on the far outside, I believe, for Donnie Barr that day. But Hell of a Fire, 4 for 7 here at Laurel in the money with the win. Alex Cintron will ride, I think, today. Today is the day here for this Tim Willie filly.
Hell of a Fire, the 2-back try. The blinkers went on that day. So her 2 tries with blinkers really sharp. She overcame the rail post 2 races back at Parks with a nice move last time out. Just a great ride by Hamilton on Phantom Shot, got the job done, or she gets the job. We loved her that day at 7-1. Right back, she's going to be tough. Not going to be remotely close to 7-1, probably 8-5, 7-5. She has enough speed to stay right there with Fergie's Lady, I believe. Fergie's Lady was, I didn't think she was going to kick on the way she did, but, we see these Claudio horses, they just keep going and going and going. She was rushed up the inside of horses. I said, okay, she's going quick, she's going to fade. No, she widened while ridden out. Some speed was scratched out of this race as well. The 4 Participate and the 8 My Sister Sledge could leave a lineup race. I think Fergie's Lady to the front, Hell of a Fire stalks and pounces. No Picnic might need a little bit more flow. That's the other logical horse in race number 9.
No Picnic. She came back running as a 3-year-old to break the maiden back in July. The mud race against Allowance Company in July didn't go very well, but a good 3rd last out coming from off the pace. I think she'll like the extra furlong today with Victor Carrasco aboard. The 2, No Picnic, and we both like the 5 here, value added. Decent second behind Fergie's Lady last out. Fergie's Lady is going to be one of the favorites in here. We'll get a decent price here on the 5 value added, both coming out of the same race.
Yep, no doubt, but she will have to improve several lengths to get it done.
All right, let's turn the page here. Race 10's our feature of the day. It's a very nice upper-level allowance race, 2 other than allowance condition. Optional claiming $25,000. Going a mile on the bowl game turf course with the rail at 17 feet. This race kicks off the late daily double. A ton of speed in this race, early speed in this race. To 1, Emelina with a lot of early speed. You know what she's going to do. The 4, Perdona's going to the front. The 5, Seda. Who else? There's another. Oh, the favorite in here, the 9, Freudian with the most early speed. The 10, Analyze, an interesting horse making her turf debut. She had speed on the dirt. And on the outside here, the 12, She's Tricky. So a ton of early speed in here. I go with the closer, a 15-1 shot on top. The 11, Secret or Not. You get Horacio Caramanos aboard for Ferris Allen. Last time this 5-year-old mare won was with Caramanos aboard, coming from off the pace, going a mile on a yielding turf course. So I think the 11, Secret or Not, a 3-time winner here at Laurel on the Grass, gets a nice setup here with a good rider, Caramanos aboard.
I thought she might follow through a little bit better last time, a slight flattening. Maybe the mile is just the perfect distance for the 11, Secret or Not. I think you've got to try to beat Freudian. She's going to be a shorter price. She showed a couple races back stand she could rate. She rated off of Emelina and some other good horses and made a nice little move. Just couldn't quite get the job done. She looks like almost like an Omnifig when you look at her. All those glaring buyer numbers in the upper 80s. But at 2-1, 9-5, I'll use her in my multi-race gimmicks, but I got to try to beat her with some prices. I like the 6 is a long shot, Regal Roma. Top selection going to be the 10, Analyze. I know she's never been on the grass, but this is a move that really doesn't scare me with Mats because you look, dirt to turf, 27% off a decent sample, an ROI of over $5. First turf, ROI close to $4. She comes out of a race against Bombshell. The way Bombshell ran yesterday after early trouble stumbling into gate in that stakes, I think she's run against the right kind. I think wondering why it took so long to get her on the grass, but I think she's a live shot to get the job done as an upset shot. And even Leatherberry's horse, Regal Roma, goes in, reaches in for 25,000. She's got good races on her page, good enough, and she's going to like the setup she's going to get.
No, it's a nice race here. I'm 4 deep on my pick 6 ticket using the 8, 9, 10, and 11 here. The 8's another long shot, I think, in here, right? Yeah, Nikki Rocks Her Pop's going to be coming late. Forest Boys aboard for Len Ashby. 8-1 morning line here. Comes out of the All Brandy. A good second behind Baltimore Hun on a soft turf course. Nikki Rocks Her Pop's 0 for 3 on the Laurel grass, but she's run some big races. I think she's live at a decent price. A 9 for the end, the favorite, and we both like the 10. So it's a real nice 2 other than feature. Emelina, she likes to open up 3, 4, 5 lengths on that first turn. Can she do that today with all this other early speed?
I tell you, Perdona's pretty quick in her own right.
Yeah.
So I got to think this place will be contested. Watch somebody get out there and walk the dog and win it wire to wire. But I think it will be a contested pace. I threw in the 5 Saida just because I always bet against her, and she always beats me. But she's doing well. She's managed just to kind of go along with her competition. This is her toughest test to date, no doubt.
All right, a very interesting allowance feature of the day, going a mile on the bowl game there in race 10. We get back to the Exceller turf course here in the 11th race, going 5.5 furlongs, rail at 70 feet, maiden claiming 16,000, 3 and up. I think the 6 and the 11 are just the 2 best horses here in the race. That's all I have in the pick 6. The 6, my top pick here, Censure from the Rodney Jenkins barn. Steve Hamilton had 2 wins yesterday. He's the regular rider of this 3-year-old by Blame. Look at a race back early June here at Laurel against Maiden Special Weight, going 5.5 on the turf. Decent 5th that day. Expedited Vision, Dundalk, the 1-2 finishers in there would both come back to win. A strong 60 buyer for Censure in that race. Anything close to that, I think, is more than good enough to win this race here. And we'll get a decent price here. Big field should be a good betting race in the finale.
Barn just frustrated. It's just a jam job right down here. A $335,000 purchase. In for 12.5. We see it every day, multiple times a day. Can we have some money to invest in the horses?
Sure. We can get a Blame here for 12.5.
I got tuition to pay. 2 of them.
He'll win the 2 life off the claim here. We'll win a 2 life and a 3 life with him. We need $62.50 each.
I'll pass right now. But Censure just trying to figure out what's best for this horse. And sprinting on the turf looks like the right thing to do. Going to try to get the maiden broken. I like the 2. Jake's Outcaster. I think back to a sprint is the key. Going first time for a barn that wins well. We talked about it early. Strong jockey trainer combination. Yomar Torres and Annette Eubanks.
All right. So nice maiden 16 on the turf to finish off the day here. Big 11 race card today, 7 on the turf. Nice little carryover in that Rainbow Pick 6. That starts in race 6. Lots of football action today as well. 105.7 The Fan. Baltimore Game Day Uncensored. They're live. They're broadcasting live right now up there at the sports bar. Join them up there as they broadcast all the away Baltimore Ravens games. They'll be up there broadcasting live till 1 o'clock. So go on up there and check it out. Also, we have the Players Challenge today. It's a $30 entry fee with weekly prizes and a guaranteed $5,000 championship. Visit Guest Services booth to play. And for more information about the $5,000 guaranteed championship Players Challenge, that starts today. Also, we have the football pick'em contest free with the purchase of a program for the chance to win $3,000. If you pick all games correct here at Laurel or Rosecroft, you get $6,000.
You got to go perfect. Got to sweep the card.
Sweep the card. If you're the only one to sweep the card, you get $6,000. Can we sweep the card?
I'm going to have to call my man Jumbo for that. Jumbo's pretty strong on the football pick'em.
Yeah, Sports Bar has all your action up there. Also, next Saturday, our first of 6 Super Saturdays of the Meet, the Fall Festival of Racing, featuring the Francis Dash plus 6 turf stakes at a Francis Dash presented by ExpressBet. Oh, what a big Saturday. Next Saturday is going to be. If we have some weather like this, no telling what kind of crowd we'll have out here.
I'm sure the racing office in Coley, they're going to be awfully busy.
They'll
the phones are going to be ringing off the hook.
Phones will be ringing. The
noms
are out.
Yep.
The noms looked well. They'll take all the entries on Wednesday for next Saturday. Sunday brunch cooking for you today up there in the Garden Terrace. Get a table and tips for the Garden Terrace. Enjoy the best brunch in town. Your best bet, Sunday brunch here at Laurel Park. That's it. Great stuff.
Right.
We're out of time. Good luck today on your late pick 4. I'm going to go after the pick 6. Dave Rodman, he's coming up next with all of today's scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.